Good evening and welcome to your Monday night edition of the Beaver News. Theo Hendrickson is out. I'm Hayden Wilcox.
And I'm Megan Davis. We're glad you could join us this evening.
Not very many places in town sell both coffee and beer, and after June, a place like that may cease to exist altogether. Earlier this morning, the Brew Station officially announced that it will be closing its doors permanently on June 15th. The Brew Station, located on the corner of 23rd and Monroe, has been a cornerstone of the Monroe Strip since its creation nearly 5 years ago. This morning, the owners of the Brew Station announced on their Facebook page that the cafe will be closing after a long fight with a new landlord who wished to raise the building's lease. According to the official announcement from the Brew Station owners, agreeing to the new lease would mean hikes in price of food and merchandise, something that the owners did not want to push upon their patrons. For more information on this story and to find the official letter to the public, you can find the Brew Station on Facebook. Have something to say about the Brew Station closing? Tell us what you think on our Facebook page at facebook.com/beavernews.
Going off of a story about beer, I guess it's appropriate to ask if you've got time to share a pint of blood, that is. The OSU annual blood drive kicked off today in the MU Ballroom and will continue through Thursday, May 16th. Most students have a fear of blood, but the small amount you could donate could help save a life. Students can register to sign up to give blood in the MU Ballroom all this week. Students who registered ahead of time are already on their way to donating blood, plasma, and red blood cells. You can join in the giving from 11 to 3 p.m. every day this week until Thursday. And if you'd like to donate, you can sign up online at redcrossblood.org or at the blood drive front desk.
An OSU graduate student and an Oregon representative recently proposed a bill to the Oregon House of Representatives that would allow students, faculty, or staff in public universities to identify their sexual orientation in an effort to collect demographic data. House Bill 2995 would also allow data to be gathered on subjects pertaining to gender, race, and ethnicity. Stephen Leiter, graduate student in Interdisciplinary Studies program, is collecting research for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer students who are dispossessed by their parents after coming out or being outed. Student organizations also spoke out in support of this bill, saying that it will help address issues such as bullying on college campuses and other disparities.
Once upon a time in the early 1900s, dressing in drag was an illegal act, but the culture has come a long way since then. Friday night was an evening of brightly colored makeup and glamorous costumes as OSU celebrated its annual spring drag show in the MU.
This year's spring drag show was put on by the Rainbow Continuum as a finale to Pride Week, which went on all last week. We sent Beaver News reporter Molly Jones to bring us the story.
If you want to witness the true meaning of pride, talk to a drag queen or king. It was a night of glamour, sex, power, and fun, but it was also a safe place where people could express themselves freely.
Just the openness of the drag show, like it's a very open event. People are expressing themselves in various manners and just be open to the numerous forms that you will see on stage. For the drag community, words that you should know, fishy. So a fishy queen is they impersonate a female very, very well. Like they could almost go outside and you wouldn't notice that they were in drag. So that's a fishy queen. We also have campy queens, and those are the ones who are like very comedy oriented, like to make people laugh. For someone who decides to dress as their same gender and just kind of exaggerate that, that's known as like a bio, either king or queen. For me, drag is definitely empowering. I grew up with a lot of very powerful black women in my life, and so for me, like my representation of drag is like kind of paying homage to those women who like influenced me so much in my life.
There was a video set to Macklemore's song Same Love that compiled students' definitions of what pride means to them. Pride was evident in every performance. The audience reaction left no doubt that each was fabulous. The drag show was a fitting end to Pride Week, a night where people proudly expressed themselves and were accepted with love and respect. This is Molly Jones with Beaver News.
And Molly found an interesting backstory that I never would have thought of. that finding heels for men is actually pretty difficult. One member of the show mentioned that that was the hardest part of putting together his outfit. Well, even though Theo isn't with us tonight, our Monday night show wouldn't be complete without our weekly crime report and our Beaver News Police Beat. Tonight, Hayden Wilcox has the story.
Thanks, Megan. On May 5th, two 30-year-old men were arrested for multiple charges of theft, burglary, and trespassing. Thomas Edward Hewitt of Corvallis was caught in a gravel parking lot on Camp Adair Road, where authorities seized bolt cutters, vice grips, a barbecue grill, and various wiring. Adding to the charges, Hewitt was also caught in possession of methamphetamines. Hewitt's associate, William Driscoll, was arrested later in Lebanon in connection to the same case. Both were booked in Benton County Correctional Facility for multiple charges of theft, burglary, and trespassing. Continuing on with our conductive crime spree, on May 6, authorities announced that in the time between December 2012 to the present, someone stole 3 50-foot coils of copper wire from the Oceanography Department at Oregon State University. So what exactly do 3 50-foot copper coils go for? Authorities and department officials estimate that the stolen property around $3,000. So far, police haven't found any leads to the incident. And finally, a 21-year-old bartender at Sibeli's Pizza, located on 9th Street, was cited for furnishing alcohol to a minor. The citation was issued on April 27th when the Oregon Liquor Control Commissions and Corvallis Police Department were performing an operation aimed at educating servers to check IDs. And that's our police beat for the night. Back to you, Megan.
Thanks, Hayden. A new controversial app called Lulu has taken college campuses across the nation by storm. Lulu, a female-only app, was created for the purpose of privately recommending and reviewing men based off information supplied by other women. The smartphone app was created several years ago by Alexandra Chong, who was inspired by the idea after having brunch with a group of friends. Since its creation, the app has traveled 3,000 miles and has now sparked interest among women at Oregon State University. Several women see this application as promising and positive, while others are finding it to be crude. Alternately, there is an application designed for men called Lulu Dude. Here, men have the chance to see their own reviews and can ask to be deleted from the Lulu app database.
The OSU Cascades campus have built a new sports medicine research lab in Bend. The Functional Orthopedic Research Center for Excellence, or FORCE, laboratory will open this month and aims to study the success and missteps of active lifestyles. It will offer sports performance analysis, medical intervention, injury prevention, and rehabilitation guidance. The building will work in partnership with Bend area orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine physicians, and physical therapists. One of the goals of the new facility aims to investigate ACL reconstruction as well as other major athletic injuries. The research lab plans to open this month and will assist OSU students in furthering research for the Exercise and Sports Science Department.
Senior Owen Jones has been selected as the next Memorial Union president and will serve as president for the 2013-2014 school year. Owen made his way to the top after having served on the MU advisory board for 2 years, working at the MU's information desk, and even having worked as an event support staff. Each year, the Memorial Union president serves as the chairman of the MU advisory board and serves on a variety of other committees in order to provide student input on the running of the MU and other OSU programs throughout campus.
This last weekend, many OSU students from many different organizations went down to California for the annual Shasta trip. Each year, students from Greek Life organize this unofficial, non-school sanctioned event to get people out in the sun and relaxing after midterms week. The annual Shasta trip has been a tradition over the past several decades and gives students a chance to let loose and socialize in the great weather. But is everything as safe as it sounds? Tonight, Beaver News reporter Olivia Gonzalez has the full report.
Place on earth.
Shasta. It's the biggest event of the year. But what exactly is it?
Here it's more like just a giant open party for everyone. It's a house party for everyone.
Once a year, OSU students, Greek Life, and alumni head down to Lake Shasta, California for a weekend filled with sunshine, swimming, and dancing.
I'd say Shasta is the best weekend of the year because it's the one weekend where everyone gets along. And not just in Greek Life, but like everyone.
clear skies and sunny weather added to the overall experience.
We're enjoying the sun, which we don't get a lot in Corvallis.
And it's so cool to come to a place like this where it's like beautiful. You can see the scenery behind me. Like, it's an amazing place to be.
I could not compare this experience to any part of the real world. And we're just having a good time.
But with having a good time, there's always a risk on the water, especially when there's alcohol involved.
My primary responsibilities are to make sure people are boating safely and soberly. There's some minor issues with people not boating safely, and I deal with those accordingly.
But this decades-old tradition isn't going away anytime soon.
Shasta will never stop. We're just all having a great time.
This has been Olivia Gonzalez with the Beaver News.
Go Beavers!
Well, this weekend was fun for those college students who managed to make it down to Shasta. But what about our Beaver baseball team? Tonight, Megan Davis tells us what we need to know about the game for this weekend for our Beaver News Sports Report.
Thanks, Hayden. The OSU baseball team had a challenge on their hands with Stanford this weekend, but OSU stayed strong and pulled through over Stanford in this last weekend's finale with a 5-4 sweep at Sunken Diamond. Oregon State managed just 3 hits in the win, but took advantage of 9 walks, 4 hit batsmen, and 5 Stanford wild pitches, which ultimately won them the game. Ben Wetzler scattered 5 hits and 2 runs in 6 1/3 innings, while Danny Hayes hit his 4th home run of the season, which ultimately sent the number 6 Beavers to a victory over number 25 Stanford. The Beavs added on some insurance runs in the 4th and 5th innings, which cushioned them during Stanford's 2-run in the 6th. The Beavers are now 20-4 in Pac-12's conference play, and the next goal for the OSU Beavers leads them to the Civil War against Oregon. The first game of the series will begin Friday night at 6 p.m. and can be followed via live video, audio, and stats, with all links available at osubeavers.com.
Thanks, Megan. Well, that's just about all the time we have for you tonight. I'm Hayden Wilcox.
And I'm Megan Davis. We're glad you could join us this evening.
For more of your Beaver News, be sure to find us on Facebook, watch us on YouTube, or follow us on Twitter @Beaver News. Have a good night.